Hi there, good evening, and it's just gone 7:30, and welcome to the first IOL Pub quiz. My name is Alan. You can call me Alan if you like. Hopefully you won't want to call me anything else. But just to say hi, I hope this is going to be the start of a lot of get-togethers at this time, and we'll let you know with updates as to why, when, and how. So just to give you a brief explanation as to what this is all about, it is just a fun way of passing the time, especially under the conditions we're under at the moment. The term pub quiz, don't worry about that. As you can see by your surroundings here, we're not in a pub. Secondly, it doesn't really relate to having to have anything to drink in your hand whatsoever. So let's get that out the way. I think the most important thing is perhaps if you want to participate, you might need something that you can use to write your answers down or note them on your laptop or on your phone or whatever. Very old people, I'm told, still use a thing called paper and pen. I wouldn't know that much about it. But so if you want to quickly go and grab that. And secondly, it depends how many of you want to play. If you're a family, you can split into teams. If you're a couple, you can split into one against the other, him against her, whoever. And the idea is just to have a lot of fun, answer a bunch of questions that have no real information that's going to change your lives. But hey, let's have a look at it. And I will go through the questions slowly and give you time, and then we'll have a bit of a break, a little bit of a chat about it. And there is a live chat column on the side, so you can see, or you can pass some comments if you like. Hopefully they'll be all right. And we'll live and learn. Just to let you know, obviously, again, this may not be a pub, but it's also not a formal studio. So there are maybe a couple of little things that we have to see to as we go through it, but I'm sure you'll forgive me for that. If I look over there, I have some notes over there. If I look over there, I have the most important things, which are the questions. If I look in front of me, I have the live chat, and I have to also look at this face for the rest of the evening. So there we are. Those are the basic outlines of it. And in this digital world, we hope that everything's going to fall into place as we go along. If it doesn't, we'll do the best that we can. But let's have a good time. That's the most important thing. And let's get to know one another. Tell me what you're thinking. So yeah, no alcohol, no pub, but a great pub quiz. The rules, of course, no answering online so that everybody can see what the answers are. No cheating. Well, choice is yours. I won't know. I won't tell, promise. So, as I said, we'll start slowly. We'll go through them. I hope I've given you time to get some pieces of paper or your computer, or just to try and remember what it was all about and what the answers are that you know. And well, we're going to start in a few seconds. So here we go. Question number one. Question one, quiz one. How many Kardashian sisters are there? How many Kardashian sisters are there? Now, I know there are some that don't have the same surname, but we're talking about the ones that feature on their world famous television show. So how many Kardashian sisters are there? Got it? Right. Question two, not moving that far away from the film world, a little bit more going back in time, but you'll probably remember this. Titanic. Movie, the film, the ship. Well, here's the question, historical. How many funnels were there on the Titanic? So you have to, for the moment, forget Kate and Leo and Celine Dion and My Heart Will Go On, and just think about the actual ship itself. How many funnels on the Titanic? Right. That was question two. See me thundering along. Question number three, more contemporary, more to do with the times, politically speaking, I suppose. The UK has just had some elections, and they have a new prime minister who's not particularly well at the moment, and we wish him well. His name is Boris Johnson. But who did Boris Johnson succeed in the UK? Who did Boris Johnson succeed? Yeah. Got it? Right. Somebody is tuning in and give me a shout. I'm going to try and see if we can answer the questions as we go along. So while you're thinking of that one, let's go to the next question, which is question 4. And this is to do with the also the entertainment world, very much up to date. The singer Drake. Where is Drake from? What nationality is Drake, in other words? And we're not talking, folks, the older ones amongst you who don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Sir Francis Drake in history. We're talking about a great, fantastic, one of the best singer-songwriters in the world at the moment. So, yeah, what nationality is Drake? And that's number 4 on the floor. And off we go to number 5. Here's a very general knowledge or nature quiz, which maybe some of the kids will know. Let's have a look and see who knows the answer. Guys, we don't want you putting the answers onto the chat line, because that means that everybody on the chat line can see the answer. So you have to keep that and let me know later to say, when I'll give you the answers, and then you can mark them off. Okay? All right? All right, here we go. So we've done a bit about Drake, and now I said the nature story. So what is the natural color of a flamingo? Yep, you know what a flamingo is. So what is the natural color of a flamingo? When they're born, what color are they? And what did they normally stay, but they don't? So there we are. Question 5, the natural color of a flamingo. So going back to the entertainment world, and somebody who you may or may not know, but his partner you may know very well, there's a guy by the name of Blake Shelton, who's one of the hosts on The Voice from the USA. He's been around for quite a while, I think all the seasons that there are. But not that long ago, he started to date an equally well-known performer. What is her name? Who is Blake Shelton dating? That's question number 6. And hello to all of you who are saying hi over there, Luann and Rihanna. And yeah, getting to know you guys. Hopefully you're going to be staying with us. So we've had question 6. And now we go on to question 7, which is also a little bit of, you might know, you might not know. Some of you might. Some of you can ask your folks. If you think you're a bit young, or the folks can ask the kids if you're not too sure. It's about the world of gastronomy, food. There's a famous chef, one of the most famous chefs in the world. His name is Heston Blumenthal. I want to know the name of his restaurant. And this is not a hint, but if you do or don't know and you find out, this is not, guys, this is not the name you use as a nickname for your mother-in-law, okay? That's the that's the little hint I'm going to give you. It's not. So there we are. That was question number 7. And we're going to tootle down now and get to the next couple of questions, because you see, I have a computer on this side and nothing much on that, pieces of paper, that old-fashioned thing on this side. So yeah, we go into question 8. Question 8, Tom Cruise played a character in a couple of movies by the name of Jack Reacher, action type of guy. And Jack Reacher is actually, the character comes from a series of books. I want to know who the author is of the Jack Reacher books, and that is question number 8. Okay, how are we doing so far? Anybody think they're winning or not winning, or getting there or not getting there? I didn't know the answers. Oh, that's another thing I need to mention. At the beginning, I should have said what you see at the bottom of a lot of contracts, E and OE, which basically means if I made a mistake, it's not my fault. So yeah, okay, let's carry on with that. So E and OE, I have researched the answers as best I can. And if I get any of them wrong, please feel free to hit me with the E and OE clause, and let's see where we go from there. So yeah, we go on to, after who created the Jack Reacher character, something that kids may learn at school. Still, I'm not quite sure, but it's an interesting one nonetheless, especially if you watch the weather forecast every evening. Question number 9, what is the unit measure of wind speed? Not fast and slow or wow, unbelievable in Cape Town. So yeah, What is the unit measure of wind speed? Question number 9. And we're getting to 1/4 of the way there. So, yeah. And hello there, Rudy. Little smiley face, and he's giving me a little bit more information about the answer of my Tom Cruisey question. And yes, you're quite right. My favorite book too, One Shot. So, number 10, a lot of you may know this. You certainly know the product. When was the first Apple computer launched? The first Apple computer. When was it launched? What year? Right, that's 10 questions. Can you believe it? That was pretty quick, and I'm sure that a lot of you got them all right. So why don't we, because it's the first time, why don't we take the first 10 questions and we'll go through them, and you can tell me online, or you can argue with a family or with your partner or whatever, what you did or didn't get right. So let's go back to the top over here, and we're going to go through the answers. So, how many Kardashian sisters are there? Apparently there are 5. I thought at one time there was 1. Then I thought there were like 50. I know they all start, I think, with their names start with a K. K, 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 K. And so that's about as far as I can go. But there are 5 of them. And keeping up with the numbers, how many funnels are on the Titanic? Well, there are 4. Well, there were 4. In fact, even at the bottom of the ocean, there are still 4. 4 funnels on the Titanic. So, Boris Johnson is the Prime Minister of the UK, and as I said, we hope his health improves under the pressure of the coronavirus. Who did he succeed? Yeah, I'm sure all you very well-informed people will remember Theresa May. She was the PM of England before Boris Johnson, and I'm sure Boris wishes right now she still was. So, easier one for a lot of you. What is the nationality of Drake? Singer-songwriter, artist, performer. Drake, he is, of course, Canadian. Right. So that's so far, you've all got 4 out of 4, I know. And the next one may have caught some of you, so let's see how you did. What is the natural color born and in its natural sort of habitat? It's grey. Whitish grey. And it gets the color from staying it forever in that color. So there we are. I'm not going to get scientific about it. I read it up, and that's what it tells me, that a flamingo is actually gray and becomes the pinky form. Her name, of course, is Gwen Stefani. So there, Blake Shelton is dating Gwen Stefani. Next time we'll ask, we'll just reverse it, and we'll see how we go. So number 7 was the question about one of the world's most famous chefs, Heston Blumenthal. I did warn you that if you know the answer, or if you learn the answer, guys, this is not going to be a nickname you apply to your mother-in-law. Could get you into a little bit of trouble. So the answer about what is Heston Blumenthal's restaurant's name is, of course, the Fat Duck. I'm not going to say anything more. That's it. So we've got 1 or 2 more to go on that. And yeah, number 8, Tom Cruise, Jack Reacher, his character, based on a fantastic series of books, novels, by a great writer by the name of Lee Child. Lee Child is the author of the Jack Reacher books that have made Tom Cruise even more famous and even more money. So, more scientific this time. What is the unit measure of wind speed? That is, of course, a knot. Now you know it, now you don't. Oh, a couple of you getting it right. Yes, that's wonderful. Again, guys, please avoid putting your answers on the chat line because it gives it away to the other people. So don't just say, yay, got it, didn't get it. That's a stupid question. Whatever you want to say, you're entitled to say it. So there we go. Wind speed of knots. And then the next question was, when was the first Apple computer launched? Well, you either know it or you don't. I didn't, so don't feel too bad if you didn't. 1976. Oh, I must have been a mere child at the time. Don't remember it. But yeah, 1976, long time ago. So that was the first 10. How did you do? Okay, right. Oh, and you need to grab a sip of something. I can toast you with that. I'm going to do the same thing. And of course, being digital and being a sort of virtual world, I can show you I have a virtual drink in my hand. which I'm going to take a sip, bump like that, but you carry on and go and get whatever tipple it is that appeals to you. And yeah, let's carry on with the next series of questions, which let's see if they get any easier, any more difficult. Going back to the world of nature, a tomato. Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable? Question 11, simple one. Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable? Question 12, back to television. Characters that you probably have all come across. So going to give you an easy one now. In which cartoon series will you find Moe's Bar? We spoke about pub quiz, but it was definitely called Moe's Bar. A long run, I think it was going for 30 odd years now. One of the most amazing cartoon series ever created. So, in which cartoon series will you find Moe's Bar? That was question number 12. Question number 13. Sport. We haven't had any sports questions so far, so here we go. If sports are your thing, maybe you should try this one. So, question number 13. Who was the first black rugby player to play for South Africa? What is the name of the first black rugby player to play for South Africa? Right to him too. Great guy. That was question number 13. Number 14, a strawberry. Going back to nature again. I must be stuck on it somewhere, or food. Maybe it's that time of the evening. And so we're asking foodie type questions. A strawberry. Love them? Some people don't. But love them or hate them. Strawberry is very beautiful looking fruit and go with lots of lovely things, make great desserts. What is the strawberry? What flower is the strawberry related to? Interesting one. Yeah. Strawberry has a relative in its family tree and or its family plant. Yeah, and it's a flower. So question number 14, what is the flower that is related to a strawberry? Think of the color, common color, and you'll get there somewhere. So that was question number 14. Back to the mathematics. This is for the kids who are having to do their homework at home and so forth, the younger kids who are just getting into the whole thing of maths. Units of measure we had knots earlier on. Yeah. So how many centimeters in a foot? Kids, if you don't know what a foot is, ask your folks. And if they don't know, ask your grandparents. So how many centimeters are there in a foot? That was question 15. Question 16. Here's one for those who do like it to pull every now and again. There is a quite well-known alcoholic beverage that has come out of Greece for many years and centuries and so forth. A traditional drink by the name of ouzo. It's a clear, quite breathtakingly strong drink. Ouzo out of Greece. And I just want to know what the primary herb is that gives it its very distinctive flavor. Let's put it this way, even if you smell ouzo, you'll know it's ouzo and it has a primary herb that contributes to that particular scent and the particular flavor. And it can also knock the back of your head off if you're not too careful. So there we go. Luann, glad to see you said your science background paid off. Well, that's fantastic. Oh, just have to tell you, by the way, at the end of the evening, there is a grand prize of being able to brag to friends and family. That's about it. But in these conditions, it's better than nothing. So, yeah, we asked you, what is the main herb? That was question 16. What is the main herb found in ouzo? Number 17. We go back to entertainment and a little bit closer to home. Black coffee, one of our great exports as far as entertainers are concerned. And the question that we have for you is, do you know what black coffee's real name is? Now, I'll be a little bit lenient here, and I'll give you, even if you get one of its three names, but not too bad. Two is great. And all three of them, well, you are a champ. So that's black coffee. Question 17. What is black coffee's real name? He wasn't born black coffee. So yeah, just as a hint. And staying in South Africa, but again, going back to what geography, history, that type of thing. The world's largest diamond. I'm not going to tell you what it was called because then you'll know the answer. Where was it found? The largest diamond ever found in the world. Where was it found? And Borto is doing fine with the first, one of the three names of black coffee. So, wow. I was interested in that, and we'll get to the answers in a little while. So that'll take the rest of you out of your misery. So now I asked you question 18. Where was the largest diamond ever found? And as I say, the name of the diamond gives it away. Hint, it was in South Africa. That's all I'm going to give you for the moment. Being far too easy and helpful at the moment. Question 19. Back to the movies. People like entertainment. People watch movies, especially at the moment in lockdown. One of the few things you can do is you're fighting over the controls to who wants to watch what. That's not up to me, thankfully. I'm just going to stay right where I am and chat to you, rather. So, question number 19. How many Star Wars movies are there? You may be surprised. I was sort of thinking 3 or 4. Shows what an expert I am. But it's not that. How many Star Wars movies are there? That's question 19, and we're nearly halfway. Can you believe it's taken us nearly a half an hour to get nearly halfway? So maybe we should speed it up a little bit. If you want me to speed it up, you just tell me. So question 19 was how many Star Wars movies? And question 20, going back to sport, because most people like sport, are interested in sport and watching lots and lots of reruns of sport. That might help you on this one. Who are the current British Premier League football champions? The current British football champions and Premier League football champions, should I say. So there we are. That's question number 20. And yeah, how are you doing? How's it going? Doing well? I'm doing fantastically. I know all the answers because I wrote them. I didn't know most of them when I started. But anyway, week by week, we'll get to know what people like, what they're interested in, and there we go. Let's take it from there. So, quick recap on the answers then, from 11 to 20, shall we? Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable? Okay, I'll be fair on this one. It is actually a fruit. Yes, that wonderful vegetable you have with hot foods and on salads and so forth, actually regarded as a flute. It's not a flute. As a fruit, although 1 or 2 references do say it can be classified as both. Let's rather just say it was a great question, and it's a fruit. So there. So question number 12. In which cartoon series will you find Moe's Bar? Must remember Moe's Bar. In The Simpsons. Yeah. One of my favorite, all-time favorite programs. Doesn't matter whether you're into cartoons or not. You have to give it to them that the creators of The Simpsons really knew what they were doing. And excuse me, I'm just having to roll up back to those answers quickly. So, yeah. So, here we go. We had Moe's Bar, and now number 13. Who was the first black player to play rugby for South Africa? Unfortunately, passed away recently, but a great human being and a great sports person and a very proud South African Springbok rugby player, of course. It was Chester Williams. That was the answer to question number 13. Number 14, back to nature. Yeah. Strawberry. Who is its relative in the flower world? Its relative in the flower world is the rose. Yeah. Strawberry is beautiful, red. Roses, beautiful. Not always red, but traditionally when you think of roses, you think of red. So you've got that answer now, and you can tell everybody, all your friends, that they didn't know that and that strawberries and roses are closely related. So Then we went on to that aged scientific question, or mathematical question. How many centimeters in a foot? Those of you, have you discovered what a foot is or was? Well, that's fantastic. A foot is 30. If you said 30 centimeters, that's fine. It's actually 30.48, but let's not be too hypercritical on that one. Around about 30, 31, 30 and a half centimeters to the old measure of a foot. And I won't go into how many inches were in a foot because we don't even know what inches are anymore, do we? So that was question number 15. Number 16, ouzo. We're going to Greece, to one of their traditional tipples, one of their traditional alcoholic drinks. A clear, very strong, pretty tasty to some, alcoholic drink. And I asked you what the primary herb was that's used to give it the flavor and the great aroma. Somebody is asking, yeah, Hader Booley says, what about Errol Tobias? It's a good question. And I will note it, and I'll go back to my reference people and ask them if they made a blaps. I did recheck that one myself. But hey, I did say at the beginning, E and OE, and that's my excuse for it. If occasionally we make a little slip up, let's talk about it. And I will gladly come back and say, wow, the research that I found has now been, the researcher that I found has now been given another job. It's going to make us the coffee. And you may be, in fact, correct. But as I said, the information I got says Chester Williams. Right. Ouzo, what's the main herb? It's anise. Aniseed. Wow. And if you know aniseed, even if you don't drink and you smell ouzo, you'll know that it has to be the primary herb in ouzo. So that was number 16. Number 17, closer to home, black coffee's real name. Yes. Cosinati Innocent Mapumulo. Cosinati Innocent Mapumulo. I didn't know that. And I do like Black Coffee's music. So I hope a couple of you got it right, because, yeah, it's great to know who our artists are. Drake, at least his name is Drake. So there we go. So that is it. Black Coffee's real name, Cosinati Innocent Mapumulo. And I hope I pronounced that right. Please send me a charry note if I'm not getting that pretty close. So, staying in South Africa, what is the name of the largest diamond? Where, sorry. It's the same thing. Where was the largest diamond in the world ever found? A little place next to Pretoria called Cullinan, the Cullinan Diamond. Yeah. So, Luann got 2 out of 3 on black coffee. Well done. And John Goliath comes back and says, Chester was the first black player after Unity. Yeah, maybe I should have clarified that, but I thought we had that, yes. Errol Tobias played before Unity, so we do regard it as, going to call it, subsequent to 94. So there we go. So a little bit you, a little bit me. It's all good and it's all fun. Right. From Cullinan near Pretoria to how many Star Wars movies are there? I've been told by my researchers that there are 9. 9. That's what the man and the lady have said. So I won't tell you how many I have or haven't seen. But if you want to go into an absolute binge, it could take you quite a few hours to watch all 9 Star Wars movies. And then number 20, halfway through. We are halfway there. And we've been going for half an hour. So I'll try and speed it up a little bit because, the kids might need to go to bed, or you might need to go and eat your meal or whatever. But yeah, so question 20, British football. Who are the current Premier League football champions? And they are Manchester City. For how long, we're not sure. There's all that conjecture about who's going to be, are they going to be? We're thinking of Liverpool, of course. And yeah, so there we have it. 20 questions. How's it going so far? Glad to have you on board. Really is nice to have you. And I'm hoping that this will at least take away some of the time and maybe help with those little dry times when small talk seems to run away from you. Ida Borley says, I'm competing with my mother. You have to be careful about that. You can't run away depending on who you think should win. I'm 12. Well, that's fantastic. That's absolutely wonderful. Glad to have you on board. And let's hope this is the start of many, many get-togethers with this one. So, halfway there, but we had that virtual drink, little while ago, so I'm sure somebody else can grab tea or coffee, whatever. So I think we've got a thunder on as we go, and go into the second half. As you can see, my very modern technology on the side there, and Luann is 17 out of 20. Good grief, Luann! You should come and present this for me next time. I'll see if I can do half as good as you. So there we go. Question 21. Halfway down and going on the way home. Question 21. If you owned an Indian chief, what type of machine would you own? It's a machine. It's a type of machine. An Indian chief. And they're still around. So there. Indian chief. Hey, the bully. I got 3. Hey, I must tell you that looking back at them, I don't even know if I would have got 3 if I hadn't had people to help me to put the questions together and then tell them before I even had the chance to ask them. So we live and we learn. So there. And 3 is better than 2. So next week, you'll get more. And remember, you've got another 10 to go. So we asked question 21, what kind of a machine is an Indian chief? 22, we talk about the people who are going to be traveling to Mars in the not too distant future. Based on the scientific information we've been given, allowing for pit stops and so forth, how long is it going to take to travel to Mars in real time? Not in The Martian with Matt Damon. The proposed time it's going to take for these amazing people to go where no man's ever been before, not even Matt Damon. So how long do they predict it's going to take to go to Mars? That was question number 22. And question number 23, go back to, what would you call it? Fashion come geography? What continent does a poncho originate from? Yeah, could be a nasty one, could be fine, but, and everybody outside my place is whistling and blowing. It's the 8 o'clock applause and recognition of what all the wonderful people out there, the healthcare professionals, and all those others associated with them are doing to help with this incredibly nasty coronavirus. And I applaud them on your behalf as well. So there. So we asked that question, how long will it take to travel to Mars? That's question number 22. And number 23 was, what continent did the poncho originate from? If you know old Clint Eastwood movies, maybe a hint, but it's not really. No. Number 24, going back to animals here. What animal is the unofficial, but often seen, the unofficial national symbol of France? And if you watch French rugby, you'll probably guess it, probably have seen it before. Yeah. But what is the national animal symbol, unofficial, of France? But it's used all the time. So yeah, that was question number 24. And my screen's just gone into screensaver. So let's just do that again. Here's one which maybe you won't like, question 25. Again, back to entertainment. And it's one of those, you either know it or you don't. I certainly didn't. I know the answer, so will you, but they don't relate to one another that easily. Who is Peter Jean Hernandez known professionally as? Peter Jean Hernandez. I'll give you a hint. He is a great singer, very popular singer, very, very funky guy. There is a hint in there. Peter Jean Hernandez, question number 25. Question number 26, like Star Wars earlier on, I want to know, how many James Bonds have there been in the movies? In other words, how many guys have, so far, have played James Bond? Question number 27. What is another name for the African penguin? I don't think it's appropriate, but there is another name. And, well, what is the other name for the African penguin? And that is question number 27. 28, going back to geography. And I'm not sure if this is something that the kids learn or their folks learn or the grandparents will even remember. We all know that Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. What is the name of the second tallest mountain in the world? And believe me, it's not a very creative name. So, there we go, you see. What is the name of the second tallest mountain in the world? Whoever had to think about it took 1 second and came up with this one. So that was question number 28. Number 29, go back to the cartoons. I didn't know this one. Promise, kids, I didn't. What is SpongeBob's address? In the series SpongeBob SquarePants, what is SpongeBob's home address? That's on his letterbox, apparently. So if you've ever given a letter or sent a letter or tried to contact SpongeBob, you'll know the address. And that is question number 29. So question 30, we did thunder on a little bit faster there. Question number 30. What are, they're all the same thing. What are a blue morpho, a Jeanette Forrester, and an amber phantom? What are a blue morpho, Janetta Forrester, and Amber Phantom? Not Phantom of the Opera, no, and they're not opera singers either. But yeah, pretty nonetheless. So, question number 30, what are blue morphos, Jeanette Forrester, and an Amber Phantom? If you have one, or any of those, let me know. So there we are. We've got to question number 30. So shall we have a bit of a review? Why not? Why don't we do a review? I'll give you time to work out who's the cleverest member of the family. So, question number 21 was, what kind of a machine is an Indian chief? An Indian chief is a motorcycle. Yeah, and they're still around, believe you me. Question number 22, how long will it take those intrepid explorers to get to Mars based on the projected trip they're going to be taking? About 7 months. I didn't say that to be accurate. About 7 months. Fashion related now. Rihanna says, we don't have time to argue over the answers. I'm hoping that I'm not going to get drawn into arguing over the answers, because then I might be asked to favor one side or the other. So that's why I'm sort of going over them and letting you decide about them in amongst yourselves. But don't be too critical on one another. Remember, there is no escape. We are in lockdown. So a little bit of give and take never hurt anybody, I don't think. Yeah. So what continent does a poncho originate from? South America. Even though Clint Eastwood movies were set in Mexico and down southern parts of the USA, it is South America that they are still traditionally worn. And every now and again, they make the fashion scene and then they disappear again. Very popular in the sort of flower child hippie era. Yeah, I won't tell you whether I got one or not. It'll be giving away too much. So, ponchos from South America, and then animals again. What is the unofficial national symbol of France, the unofficial animal symbol of France? It is the Gallic rooster. That's right. Quite appropriate, don't you think? Yeah. So, the Gallic rooster, the rooster, or the rooster in English. That is the unofficial animal symbol of France. This one, I wonder how many of you got. I haven't seen anybody come up with the answer. Famous performer, singer. He can dance, he can sing. His real name is Peter Jean Hernandez. Who's he known professionally as? 3, 2, 1. I did say he's a funky sort of guy. Hope that would give you a hint. Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars's real name, Peter Jean Hernandez. I suppose it's easy off the tongue, okay? Saying, here's Uptown Funk by Peter Jean Hernandez. Bruno Mars, wins every day, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, back to the movies. And how many James Bonds have there been, including Daniel Craig? And I said, how many guys have played James Bond? Because we don't know about the future. Been a lot of talk about maybe James Bond becoming Jane Bond or Miss James Bond. Doesn't matter, because up till now, including Daniel Craig, there have been 7 James Bonds. Right. Number 27. What's another name for an African penguin? What is the other recognized name of the African penguin? And sending love for Peter Jean. Peter Jean, maybe. I apologize if I got it wrong. But there we are. I saw it, Luann. So there we are. I can take note. I can do two things at once. Men can multitask occasionally. I'm trying 3 or 4 at the moment. Don't blame me if I get a couple of them wrong. So there we go. What is another name? Question number 27 for African penguins. The jackass penguin. I think I'll just stick with African. Don't you? Yeah, much better. That was question number 27. 28, going back to the kids and having to study geography or whatever. And I don't even think they sort of study these type of worldy, not really important things, because I don't think many of you are going to get there. The second highest mountain in the world after Everest. It's known as K2, as I said. Whoever had to come up with that name, I hope they didn't get a bonus at the end of the month. So, kids, hope that you knew this one, or maybe some of your folks do as well. SpongeBob's address. SpongeBob lives in Pineapple. He has an address of 124 Conch Street. And you'll never forget it if you didn't know, because I'm never going to forget it. And in fact, after we finish this, I'm going to see if I can write a letter and see if he gets it. Who knows? So there. Number 29 was what is SpongeBob's address? And number 30, 3/4 of the way there, and we caught up a little bit on that, a little bit. What are a blue morpho, a Janetta Forrester, an amber phantom, and excuse the strange Scottish accent in the middle of that, it has nothing to do with the answer. A blue morpho, a Janetta Forrester, and an amber phantom are butterflies. Interesting. They have amazing names for butterflies. Yeah, so there you know. So next time you're walking out in the garden, say, oh, there goes a blue morpho. As long as it's bluish, who's to know? Right, down to the last 10. We're stumbling. No, we're shooting along now. The last 10, and I'm going to be sorry to see the end of this one. So question number 31 for all your musicians out there. How many keys does a piano have? A piano? Piano Reeves? No. How many keys does a piano have? And I'm talking a full traditional piano, not the sort of abbreviated ones and the half ones and the roll-up ones. Yeah, no. How many keys has a piano got? And that is question number 31. Question number 32, entertainment again. Yeah, get a lot of entertainment, but that's the way we live, isn't it? There's an actress by the name of Rachel Weisz. Very well known, very great actress. And the question is, a little bit left of center, who is Rachel Weisz married to? Also, in fact, probably more well known than she herself. Who is the actor, movie star, Rachel Weisz is married to? Question 32. 33, back home in South Africa, because we are, after all, this is where we're from, and we should know these answers. And I hope you do. I'm going to check your questions later on, and if you don't know the answer, you're in big trouble. So, question 33, the town of Makanda, in the Eastern Cape. What it used to be known as? Makanda, the Eastern Cape. That's all I'm going to give you. Now we're moving to Scotland for the next question. Sort of semi-fashion. Question 34. What is the name of the pouch worn on a kilt? If you've never worn one, you've probably seen pictures of hairy Scotsmen wearing them, and attractive Scots ladies also wearing kilts. So there is a pouch, a leather pouch worn with a kilt. What's it called? Yeah. Going to back to singers. We've had the names of singers and the origins of singers and where they were born, etc. And here's something you may or may not know about a couple of names of performers, singers. They all have a link. Apart from being singers, what do the following 3 people have in common? Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and Andrea Bocelli. What do they have in common? Not just as singers. There's something else they have in common, and that was question number 35. And we're 5 down to go to the end of our first pub quiz. So, are you there with us? Yeah, I'm glad. 1 or 2 of you seem to have fallen asleep. Luann is saying, mom and daughter teamwork in action. That's what I like to hear. So then you can both pat one another on the back and say, without you, I wouldn't have got half of them right. So there you are. Right. Number 36. Number 36. How many tides are there every day? Yeah, we know what they are, but how many are there every day? How many tides are there? And staying local, question 37. What is the national fish of South Africa? I don't know what you do with all these national thingies. You have a national bird, and a national tree, and a national treasures, I will acknowledge. But would you be very, 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 very nasty if you were caught eating our national fish? That's question number 37. What is the national fish of South Africa? And 37 down, 3 to go. And a sporting question for number 38, international sporting question. You saw my eyes veer up there. I have to keep on just referring because I'm going into screen save every now and again, so I have to make sure we don't lose contact with one another. Question number 38, what annual sporting event is held in the French town of Le Mans, or Le Mans? Doesn't really matter what you call it. What annual sporting event is held at Le Mans? 39, eyes down looking. Going back to fashion, this was one that I didn't know, and again, it's one of those very important facts you don't ever have to really remember. We all know the name Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel. And again, okay, the fashionistas will know Coco Chanel, your folks will know Coco Chanel, your grandfolks will know Coco Chanel, but I think you might have to look to the more senior people if they can tell you, or you can guess, what Coco's real name was. Her name wasn't Coco. Her name was something else, Chanel, and she changed it, and it stuck. Made it easier when they designed the logo and so forth. So question number 39. What was Coco Chanel's real name? Last but not least, I see it's 17 minutes past 8. So we caught up a bit in the second half, and you must let me know next time we go whether it's too fast, too slow, whether you want me to stick a picture of SpongeBob over my face or something to make the show a little bit more interesting or exciting. Let's see. So the last question, question number 40 on the first IOL Pub quiz. Where, in what country of origin was the croissant created? Or croissant. You go to your bakery and ask for a croissant. They're going to give you that same thing that we all love. But where do you think the croissant was originally created? And that's not a hint. In fact, maybe I'm throwing you off center there. But yes, throw the answers down now and see what you got. See what you have got. We're going to go through them now. We're going to see how you did. And then, gee, that'll be the end. And I'll be very sad to see you go. Well, I can't see you, but, you know, in a digital world, I can feel you having left the building. So, yeah, let's go back here. So, from question 31 onwards until the end. Question 31, how many keys does a piano have? They're both a piano and a piano have the same number of keys. A fully fledged piano has 88 keys. Yeah, now you know, and you'll never forget that one. Question 32, who is Rachel Weisz married to? She's a great actress. Seen her in a lot of movies, but she is sometimes overshadowed by her even more famous husband, movie star that everybody knows. And we sort of mentioned him earlier on. Yeah, Rachel Weisz, question 32, is married to Daniel Craig. So there, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Question 33, what did the town of Mukunda in the Eastern Cape used to be known as? Bong, you're out. No, didn't get it? Mukunda used to be known as Grahamstown. So there, FYI, it's Mukunda. Forever and ever, going forward. That was 33. Number 34. What is the name of the pouch worn over a kilt? Traditional Scottish garment. The pouch, the leather pouch worn over a kilt is called a sporran. And don't make that mistake by pronouncing it or naming it by mistake to any Scots person, yeah, a sporran. That's what it is and will always be. 35. Apart from being singers, what do Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and Andrea Bocelli have in common? They're all blind performers and all have overcome that and done incredibly, amazingly talented people. But unfortunately, to lie of the land, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Andrea Bocelli are all singers who are blind. Right, 36. An easy one. How many tides are there in the day? Well, actually 4. There's some of you who said 2. High tide, low tide. Yeah, but it actually happens twice a day. So it's 2 high and 2 low in a day. So it's 4. So there, got you, huh? So that was question 36. And staying with things related to the sea. What is the national fish of South Africa? National fish is a galjoen. That's it. It's a galjoen. Well, I can't change it. Nothing I can do about it. It's a galjoen. Number 38. The annual sporting event, won't happen this year, I don't think, unfortunately, which is held in the small town of Le Mans in France, or Le Mans, if you want to read it that way. It is the very historical, internationally known and revered Le Mans 24-hour motor race. Yeah, guys ride round and round and round a circuit for 24 hours. And if you saw the recent movie, Ford versus Ferrari, you'll know all about some of the history of the famous Le Mans race, which is held in the little town of Le Mans in France. So that's the annual event. It's the 24-hour endurance motor race. 1 to go, or 2 to go. Fashion, Coco Chanel. What was her real first name? Nobody seems to have got this one so far. Nobody said they've got this one. Coco Chanel's real name, Gabrielle. Gabriella Chanel. You see, I think the designers of the logo said, no, let's stick with 2 C's rather than G and C and so forth. So Gabriella Chanel, that was her name, but everybody knew her as Coco. And last but not least, and maybe with my very bad accent, I threw you a little bit. Where was the croissant? Where was the croissant? A little bit close to home, created. What country was the croissant created? It's actually Austria. Quick history about it. Apparently was developed in little coffee shops in Austria. And interesting, that's also where the origin of coffee shops seems to have come from. Yeah, Austria. So there you have it. How many of you got 40 out of 40? I did because the answers were over there on the side. So, but whatever you got, it doesn't matter. I had a great time with you guys. I hope that you had fun. And let's hope we can do it again. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, if you want to do it again. And we can find some more reasonably important questions that are totally unimportant as to the bigger picture. But it was fun. And I hope that nobody got titchy or tetchy about who was brighter than the other. Sometimes it's just luck. And I surely hope that nobody cheated by quickly looking it up on their phone or whatever, because. So from me, Alan, I look forward to seeing you next time, and have a great and safe evening and everything the best. To all who wait, Lou Ann, quickly before we go, Lou Ann says she got 32 out of 40. I think she may be the winner for this evening. And we will let you know as soon as possible via the IOL site when we will be doing a follow-up. And I hope it's going to be soon. So Haydot says, I liked it. We got here late. Thank you. Well, Luann, again, asking me when the next one is. I'd like it to be as soon as possible. So you guys who've enjoyed it, go on to our YouTube page and maybe onto IOL as well. And we'll try and put some info about it. We'll keep you posted as best we can. And let's do it again. Let's see if I can find all those very clever researchers of mine to find some other interesting questions. That'll pass away another hour or so of our evenings. And you can use this too as a sort of competition against your family afterwards, because they might not have been watching. Nice to have you along for the ride. For the first one, you take care. And everything the best from me, Alan. Until next time, ciao.